Hello and welcome to day 16 of 24 recipes till Christmas. Today I'm making my dad's request for a recipe. He asks me to make this all the time. I've been making this for years and he constantly asks me to make this. This is a great dip to make for a crowd. Or in my case, my dad, just one person, he will have this whole dip. I'm not quite sure where I learned this recipe. I believe it was at work. I've been making it for many years, probably close to 30 years. And when I tried to look it up now, it came up as a shrimp cocktail dip. So that is what they're calling it. I'm not sure. I just call it a shrimp dip. It's very easy to make and it's a crowd pleaser. So let's get into it. Bora cozinhar. For this recipe, we're going to need a green pepper chopped. We're gonna need some green onions chopped. We're gonna need a tomato. I like using Roma tomatoes and then de-seeding them and chopping them up. We're going to need mayo, sour cream, full fat sour cream, and full fat cream cheese, a whole block, so 8 ounces. And the cream cheese should be at room temperature. We're also gonna need 2 cans of shrimp. This is like cocktail shrimp, so tiny shrimp. You can also use, like in the frozen section, they have cocktail shrimp, like the tiny one, and then you can use that and chop it up fine. We're also gonna need some cocktail sauce, and I'm using a mild. You can use whatever heat preference you like. And use a good cocktail sauce because that's gonna set the taste for this dish. We're also gonna need our vessels to carry our dip in. So usually for my dad, I use Tostitos, so tortilla chips, and I like to use the small round one. And for Christmas, I thought these Ritz crackers would be cute to use too. Let's get into this recipe. We're gonna start off by mixing our cream cheese, our sour cream, and our mayo. And for that, I'm just using the little mini food prep. You can also just in a bowl, just cream them together. I find the mini food prep just makes it very easy to do things like this. I've cut the cream cheese into cubes and in it goes. And I'm gonna cream that first and then add the mayo and the sour cream. So now I'm going to add in the sour cream and the mayo. So we've creamed all 3 together and we end up with this really nice creamy consistency. Now we're going to put it in our serving tray. I like using a platter to serve our dip in. So we're gonna add the mixture to our serving dish. Spread it out. So now in a small bowl, we are going to mix the green onions that we chopped up finely. We're gonna mix our green pepper. And we're gonna mix our tomatoes that we also diced up. And now we're gonna add in our cocktail sauce. The whole thing. We're just gonna add everything in. All of the cocktail sauce. You wanna get that out. And we're gonna give this a mix. We have our green onions that we cut up small. And our green pepper and our tomatoes. Give this all a mix. And now we're going to put it over our cream cheese mixture. And for that, I just like using a spoon. And I just do little clumps and then spread it out. So now we're gonna top it with our cocktail shrimp. I've gone ahead and drained out the water, and now I'm just gonna give them a quick little mince before I put them on the tray. So when I first started making the recipe, I think the recipe only calls for 1 can of shrimp, and as you can see, they're like this in the can. I know my friends in Portugal are probably going, what the heck is that? But trust me, it's delicious. So I was saying, when I first started making the recipe, I think the recipe only calls for 1 can of shrimp. And I was making it in a bigger tray. For today, I decided I was gonna make it in this one because it's white. The other tray that I use has a different color on it. So you could totally just use 1 can of shrimp. It would work. I think for this one, actually, 1 can would be plenty for this tray. You just want to give it like a small, just a rough chop for the shrimp. So when I was going over the ingredients, I forgot to mention we're gonna need cheese. And I like using mozzarella cheese, and we're gonna top it with a bit of mozzarella. You could also use cheddar cheese, but I find mozzarella goes really well in this dish. And that is our dip. And now comes the most difficult part of this recipe. We're gonna taste. I'm gonna use the Ritz crackers, and it is a dip. So here we go. It is delicious. Still as I remember it. Well, I make it all the time for my dad, but this is a great dip to serve for a large crowd. It is a crowd pleaser. Very easy to make and put together. You can easily make this the day before and just keep it in the fridge, or the morning before and keep it in the fridge and then take it out before serving. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let me know if you make it, and hope to see you again soon.